Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Donny Carr, and today we'll be taking an in-depth look at the brand new plugin by ImageLine, Fruity Delay 3. This is an analog style tape delay, and it's pretty badass, so go scoop up the new update 12.5. There's a lot of good goodies and features added, but today we'll be focusing on Fruity Delay 3. So, what I'm going to do for this video is run through all the knobs and the features and explain what everything does, and then I'll just play with it for a second and kind of, so you can hear what everything's doing. So let's get right to it, and we'll just start on the left-hand side and I'll work our way across and then go back down to the modulation, diffusion, and the distortion. So the input is simply the amount of your signal that you're pushing into the delay unit. Um, Now the delay time, the time is simply the time between the echoes. And you have an option to tempo sync this right here. And a cool little feature is if you right click on this, you hit set and you have a list of common musical time values that you can select here, which is pretty handy. Now you can turn this off and have a free floating milliseconds to play with here. So that is very nice as well. Now, when you have keep pitch off and you change the delay time, you're going to get variations in the pitch. The pitch is going to change and be altered. When you have this on, then it will be locked in place and you won't have those pitch changes. Now, one thing to note though, even when you have the keep pitch selected, when you modulate the time down here, you'll still get pitch change. So keep that in mind. Now when you have this off, you have this smoothing is available to be adjusted. And all that does is change the time that the pitch changes when you adjust the time knob here. It's just going to alter that. And when you have a longer time here, it's going to be more tape style delay effect. So now the offset here is going to affect, let's see, the offset is only available, it's available in the mono and the stereo delay model, and all that is a time delay between the left and the right. So we have a couple modes here. We got mono, straight down the middle. We have a stereo, stereo delay, ping pong, bouncing back and forth here. And we have off. We'll get to that in a second. So we have a pan here for the ping pong, and then we have offset for the stereo and the mono. So when we have this turned off, this delay unit actually turns, you can use it as just a filter. You could use it as a bit crusher. You could use it as distortion, or you can use it as a modulation source for your filter. So you still have some options to play with, even if you're not using the delays, which is a pretty cool function, I think. So yeah, then you also have a stereo function here, stereo knob, where you can merge the signal to mono and make it stereo. So moving on to the feedback, we have just the level of the feedback here, which can be pushed into self-oscillation, and it kind of turns yellow-red when that's happening. And that also applies to the resonance. Boop. So you have a few filters to choose from, just the basics, a low pass, high pass, band pass, or you can turn it off completely if you'd like. And yeah, if you're wondering what resonance is for the beginners, it's just a boost at the cutoff point from your filter. And when you're adjusting the filter, you can actually see the actual values in hertz up in the left-hand corner here, which is very nice. All right. So the sample rate, when you turn this down, it's going to decrease the fidelity of the sound, and therefore it's going to introduce some noise and a little bit of distortion here. Yeah, and the bit crushing, the bits is just simply, it acts just like a bit crusher. When you turn it down, you're going to get a crunchy, grainy quality there. So you can, create some very interesting textures this way with your echoes. All right, let's move down to the modulation. So this is just simply the rate at which your modulation is going to be occurring, and it starts from 0 and goes up to 20 hertz. And you have two modulation sources to choose from. You can modulate the time here, and you can also modulate the cutoff frequency here. And then you could set your, the speed at which you would like to do that with the rate. Now the diffusion is the level is a smearing effect on the echoes, and this is just the time spread of the smearing, the spread right here. So let's move on to the feedback distortion. You just have a simple limiter here, and this is more or less just the threshold. So you can limit your echoes with a limiter, and you have a saturation knob as well. The level is simply at which the limiter, it acts like a threshold, and the saturation, it's just when does the saturation occur. And the knee, you can just switch between a soft knee, more analog style, and you could turn it up here to more of a harsher or a hard knee, as it's referred to, that's more like a solid state circuitry type of saturation. Now the symmetry is cool. What you can do here is turn it, if you turn it up, you can have a little bit of control over, so if you only want to affect the positive cycle, the positive part of the waveform of the echoes, you can do that here. It's only going to be affecting the positive cycle of the wave and not the negative, or a slight mixture between, but it doesn't go all the way down. You can only turn it up. So that's what the symmetry is there. And then the tone is simply just a filtering on the wet output only. So if you turn it to the left, that's a low pass or a darker tone, and if you turn it to the right, that is a brighter tone or a high pass. So that's pretty much the rundown of how how Fruity Delay is laid out and what all the functions and the knobs do. So I'm just going to take a minute or two here and kind of play around with it for a second and let you hear what some of these things actually do. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop there. But yeah, great little addition to the ImageLine plugins. So I hope this video was of value to you. Leave me a comment or question if you have any other questions about the plugin. And yeah, I'll see you really soon. Have fun with Fruity Delay 3. Take care.